Okay, my skin is visible to you?
No.
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 Just a minute. Now.
Yes, now it's visible.
Yeah. Okay, today we will discuss about the risk management and safety in tourism. Okay, and just a minute. Right. So effective risk management and tourism's safety are the crucial for the tourism industry. So in this presentation, we discuss about different protocol, potential risks, and how it's prevent. I mean, how protect the visitor. So today we will discuss about all those things. So first of all, we need to identify the tourism risks. First of all, what are the risk factor? Natural disaster, because tourism is related with the natural beauty. Sometimes it is practicing in the your most vulnerable area. So even sometime it is a unpredictable natural calamities like the hurricanes, cyclones, earthquake, then wildfire and the other natural calamities also. I will give you example of the just here. Yeah. So, if you look in the North Indian flood, that is not very common, but sometime it's happened. In the year of 2013, so there is a huge damage happened in the Kedarnath, that is the pilgrim tourism site in India, in the northern part of India. So, in the Uttarakhand, it is located. But if you can see the image of the before and after, so there is a lots of hotels and other thing is there. So just I make it zoom so you can understand. So 9 year ago, and there is the pilgrim sites. So just behind this there was a lake. Due to heavy rainfall and all, so the lake destroyed, and the barrage was destroyed, and the huge flood occurred over there. So that was the massive flood during the June 16. Today, almost 10 years, more than 10 years ago. But there were 5,700 people who were presumed death. There is a no option to rescue because of the such kind of hilly region, and the sudden flood occurs. So that is the big challenges for the many tourist spot in India and all around the globe, because this is the one of the major risk factor, the natural calamity. You cannot predict that. Even if you discuss about the earthquake, that is also anytime that can happen. Okay, so even the most of the beautiful hilly side of northeast India, located in the uh, earthquake zone. So I will show you two things. So in Sikkim is a popular place for the tourism in India, because this most of the state GDP come from the tourism only, and this state experience many earthquake, many times. In 2021, that was the massive earthquake happened over there, and the all the thing are related to the tourist spot. So you can see the Sikkim tourism and the earthquake. Even if you see the map and also all of the hotels, you can see this is not the normal building of a particular area. That is the hotels and totally destroyed due to the rainfall and the road condition. You can see the earthquake. This is a massive loss, and the human death and the nature. any kind of casualty that can happen anytime due to the natural factor. So that is the one of the risk factor of the tourism. So I just give you two example. One is the earthquake, another one is the flood. That is the very common in India. But in case of, I don't know for the other countries or other region, but that might be the same. So you need to understand the which area you are planning for the tourism. So you can understand the natural disaster, whether that is a disaster prone area or not. So that's why you need the basic knowledge about the disaster management. So pre-disaster tool, during disaster, how you rescue your visitors or tourists, and the post-disaster plan, and the safety and security, the crime rate, political instability, especially when we talked last class, I discussed with Marif. So regarding the political stability of the Middle East, so there is a many place to visit, but due to political instability, people are not take risks to visit over there. Suppose the Baghdad, one of the old city of Middle East, so located in Iraq. But due to the political instability, threat of terrorism, so people are not usually choose all those places. Syria, I- in this region, people are not usually visit because of the political instability and the health hazard. So disease outbreak continuation risk, so we are experiencing the COVID-19, so that is identified as a tourism risk. So because due to COVID, there is a n number of paper has been published, and the pre-COVID and post-COVID, even someone from your batch willing to work on the Jordan tourism during the pre-COVID and the post-COVID transformation of the tourism sector of this particular country. But this is one the risk factor which you need to identify, that whether the medical emergency and all. So most damage happened in the Italy tourism due to the health hazard during the COVID-19, and they are still recovering the factor. So some province also there is a very less number of population where due to the COVID, even especially in the southern part of Italy. So then the crisis management plan. So you should come out with some plan. You should come out with some plan, mean the risk assessment. So risk assessment, evaluate the potential threat. That threat might be the natural. So you can classify the risks into three parts: the natural risks, semi-natural, mean something anthropogenic and associate with the nature, so that is the semi-natural, and totally anthropogenic risks like the threat of terrorism, like political instability. Those are the totally anthropogenic threats. So risk assessment, you can evaluate what are the potential risks and the impact on operation as a tourist manager or planner. So you need to, when you operate the tour, so you need to identify the impact. Everywhere there is some risk factor, but when you are operating, you need to understand the risks and the preventive measures. So preventive measures, so implementing strategy to mitigate the identified risks. If you talks about the natural disaster, so you cannot do anything the pre-disaster precaution. So that, but you can help during disaster and post disaster rescue, and also there should be mitigation policy. But in terms of the natural calamities, you cannot predict like the earthquake, like landslide and all. So but you can predict the flood, you can predict other thing. But some disaster you cannot predict, it can happen anytime, but you can prevent the political instability, you can manage some area. So where is the unstable area, you can recommend, you can advise those area, you cannot visit all those area. And the crisis response plan, developed a action plan for the crisis situation. So it's called the SOP, standard operation protocol. So and the recovery procedure establish the method to resume the normal operation. Anything can happen during your operation, but you need to recover and come back into your normal, you know page, normal procedure. So that is very important. And then ensuring tourist safety, how you will ensure the tourist safety, that's the big question. So first of all, infrastructure. So infrastructure, when I give you the example, well maintain the transport accommodation facility, you should maintain those things, the accessibility, emergency services. So just I give you the same example of the Sikkim landslide, you can see the road condition. So you can see the building naturally impacted. So infrastructure, okay. So what are the infrastructure for the tourism? We discuss about the transportation, accommodation, and the facilities, the accessibility of the emergency service. If you look, come to the same impact of the infrastructure, the impact of the Sikkim earthquake, the devastating effect on the infrastructure, especially building, bridges, roads, and the other thing also. If you can see the entire photography, so you can understand the nature of you know disaster and how it's happened over there, and how when you plan for recovery, so if road is not developed, so there is coming to many things like the PPP model of the development with private public participation, how the people are rescue the thing. So from this photograph you can see the local people try to rescue the people. So there is a army personnel help the local with the help of the local people, so they are trying to rescue the people. And so this is the structure of the building totally demolished. This is might be some hotel, so that is also tilted due to the earthquake. And the bridge that is totally destroyed due to, and this is the road condition, so landslide also happens, so everything can be destroyed. This is the infrastructure. Then you need to understand the next point is the security measure. Security measure mean the trained personnel, surveillance services, and the visitor scanning, and the background check. It is for the, there is a two part, okay. Just I explain one by one. So first part of the presentation or something, that is the trained personnel and the surveillance. It is required for the normal cases that can operated by the tour operator, mean the TO. Tour operator can mean recruit the trained personnel and the service system, because in number of tourists usually visit of a particular space. So government, it is very difficult to hire a number of trained personnel for that particular thing. But they, what government can do, they can check the visitor scanning, background details, so and so provide the international tourists like the visa. So before visa processing, visa, so they check the entire background, and also then they allow for the you know particular people for a tourist purpose. So that is the security measure. So there is a role of the everybody from the government to the individual or independent tour operator. And the awareness program, when you look into the awareness program, so awareness program is something else that you can operate as a planner, and as a whole the government can operate. Okay, so there is a different stage. So I will explain one by one. So as a educate tourist about the potential risks. So what you need to do before assign the contact with the tourist, you need to make some contact paper, and you can sign up by them that there is a potential risk factor. Even after that, you can visit, you can go. Suppose I give you example of the cruise line industry. In cruise line industry, everybody give consent that anything can happen, because in sea, anytime any kind of cyclone can occur, so that time life can be under threat. But in the normal time, the sea is a most beautiful place to for visit. So you need to explain all the thing tourist about the potential risks and the promote the responsibility. So there is a few training you need to provide to your employee, or you need to provide, the government can provide that. When I talk about the 10 personnel, so they need to know about the firefighting, need to know about the swimming, need to know about the critical situation, how to live in the critical situation, they need to know all about. So first of all, so ensure the tourist safety by infrastructure. You should secure the road is well maintained, and then you can send some secure, trained personnel for surveillance the system. And this is the role of the government, and the can even you can also check the background of the tourists before make the contact. And the awareness program, they educate the tourist about the potential risks, promote the responsible tourism practices, etc. And the protecting tourist assets. Okay, tourist asset, what do you mean by the tourist asset? What is your understanding about tourist asset? So Marif, you just tell me that what is the tourism asset. So are you there, Marif?
Yes, I'm here about tourist assets. I see from your presentation
Apart from my
that
presentation, you just tell me apart from my presentation, not just read out my presentation. So I am also saying that there is a cultural heritage, natural resource, hospitality industry, and the tourist attraction. Apart from that, what is your general idea about the tourism resource?
mm, maybe societies it can be,
Sorry,
or
can you
tourism
speak louder?
assets, society of some region.
Okay, okay, got it.
Maybe they have something traditional things. It comes to cultural heritage again.
Okay,
Mm, I don't know what the other tourism assets can be.
well, okay. So in tourism asset, when we discuss about in the light of the risk assessment, first of all, here if you write here the risk assessment, risks. So first of all, we identify the risks, identify the risks. Okay, identify the risks. Then we need to protect from the potential risk factor, from the potential risk factor, not all the risk factor, potential risk factor. You need to protect. So what you need to protect? Protect the cultural heritage. Culture is something that cannot destroy by the disaster, but the historical sites, monuments, that can be protected. That there is a two thing, one is the culture, second one is the heritage. The cultural heritage you need to protect by any cost, because that is many people come to visit of this particular site only for that cultural heritage. If there is no cultural heritage, no people will visit. So last class, we discussed about different tourist spot about in Azerbaijan. So that time you told that there is a pre-medieval period. So there is a lots of rocks works or the stone work. So those are the cultural heritage of a particular country. But if some due to some risk factor like the some disaster or some natural calamities, if it is destroyed, so nobody will visit the Baku and other spots, so but to visit all those things. And then natural resources, natural ecosystem, suppose if we give you the example of the Poland, so in the southern part the Jakopani is a there is a mountainous region, but if due to the ecosystem laws, biodiversity laws, so there is less snow, or climate change, there is something happens, so number of tourists naturally decrease, so you need to protect the natural resources, because your natural resource provide you the tourism and the hospitality industry. So whatever the condition, you should not forget to ensure the safety of the hotel and the mm, resorts. So those are the hospitality sector. If you don't have the hotels and the resorts, so where you will accommodate your guests, so you need to protect that. And the tourist attraction, maintain the security in the popular location. So it is very important, the populous country like the India, China, in those area, something can happen, even some pickpocket also creates some negative impact about the country. This is the fact. Suppose someone come from any part of the world and something happen in the guest country, or host countries actually, so who receive the guest, host country, but they carrying the bad memory about the country, so you should protect that thing. That is also risk factor when we discuss about the anthropogenic factor, not like only the political instability or threat of terrorism or threat of militant group or militia. So apart from that, there is a many small crime like pickpocketing, like thieving. All those things can happen. Many things. There is a two fellow from Bangladesh is in our group. We are very much fortunate to have them, so they can also explain the something happen in the Dhaka, that there is a busy street of the Dhaka or Chittagong. In those area there is a population density is very high, people used to visit, but many case has been reported of the pickpocketing or thieving. So Mustafur, are you there, or Zubair?
Yes, Professor, I'm here.
Yeah. So you can connect that the how it's happened in the Bangladesh also, some in the busy street, some incident might happen because of the lots of population, cloudy areas. So maintain the security, that is one of the important factor to keep in your mind when you arrange some tour or planning for the, or go for the risk assessment. And the risk monitoring system, so risk monitoring system, there is few things. So first of all, we need to go into the techno driven solution. In the techno driven solution, even you look into the techno driven solution for the it's called the surveillance technology. In the surveillance technology, what is that? The CCTV, then drone, the motion sensor. So those are the this is the equipment for the surveillance technology, even in the border area or then in tourist spots. So it is not possible to check one by one, so that they use the drone technology or CCTV, even in the motion detector. So they use by the government, I mean, who are they in the responsibility of the protecting the thing. Then is a data analysis, because of the data driven solution, that crime statistic. So crime statistic mean the which part of the country having more crime. So you need to find out. You should avoid those area. Consumer trend, weather pattern. So when is the rainfall? When is the summer and the winter? You need to understand from the data. Then the social media monitoring. Social media monitoring is something that's a tackling online, cheated or sentiment, so tracking all those things. So sometime it's called the home taste tourism. There is no website, nothing, but just take some photograph of a room or building, just make some website, or Facebook ad, or Instagram, Twitter and all. So you can find the many things. They are just book the thing, and then the number is totally blocked or invisible. You cannot get your money back. And the sentiment, so that the social psychology you need to understand. So you need to monitor all those things, because sometimes something can happen and that can hurt you. So that is the sentiment. So even if we talks about the Bangladesh tourism, so there is a high sentiment. I found the only one country in the world who fight for the language, that is Bangladesh. They fight for the Bangladesh. Actually, if you know the history of Bangladesh, so that is the country of a history of a language, history of the sentiment, that the Bengali sentiment, people of the Bengali sentiment. So you need to maintain, but you should not hurt. But even in case of the Poland also, I found one incident in front of my eyes. So some people say that the Poland is located in the East Poland, East Europe. So one Polish fellow is angry, become angry. No, no, no. Poland is not located in the eastern part of Poland, Europe. Poland is located in the Central Europe, not East Europe. So if you say that Poland is East Europe, so they might angry. So this is the sentiment of the people. You need to understand the risk factor. Even in some cases of the pilgrim tourism, something can happen in the many part of the world. In the church or mosques, they have the certain rules, certain thing you need to follow that particular protocols. So even you cannot so in terms of that, you can visit the Mecca or Medina. That is the very much holy place for the is who believe in the Islamic religious. But you cannot for the other religious, so there is some restriction is there. So this is the sentiment actually. So you need to understand the particular sentiment when you arrange the thing. So you should not hurt anyone. Whatever their belief, whatever their religious practice, whatever their color, I mean the race, ethnicity, and all. So that might be a issue. So sometime I found in the Delhi some people who are from the northeast, so they call that the Chinese people. No, that is the against the national integrity, and you cannot say like this, because it's a risk factor of a social integrity and national integrity also. As a tourist, you should not you should maintain all those protocols. So what to do, what not to do. Okay. And the reporting the hotline, so you should have the number of the police station, airport, hospital. So you should keep it with you, so as a to monitoring the risks. Well, is it clear? Is it clear to
Yes.
you? Yeah. Well, thank you. And the emergency response protocol. So alert system. So alert system. So even there is some stakeholder actually notification when something happen. That alarm can goes to the every member. Suppose in any hotel. So Margaret, Rustomova, you are working in a hotel. So sometime something happen happens about fire alarm. So definitely one notification might come to your message, I mean your phone. So to report somewhere, or should take some responsibility, you should perform, or you should manage the emergency. So you have certain responsibility. And the medical assistance, that is also very important to assess the first aid, the healthcare facilities and all emergency response, and the evacuation plan. So coordinate the safety, orderly and evacuation, the crisis communication. provide the transparent update of the policy and media. So those are the crisis communication. People can watch you, people can see you, people can hear you. So people can understand where are you, what is your exact condition. So that is called the crisis communication. And another one is the evacuation plan. Evacuation plan, you know it very well that how it is rolled. So when I saw you the just a minute, I just share with you some photographs of Sikkim. So those are the rescue team. So they are rescuing something. So when we discuss about the evacuation plan, so they evacuate the dead body. You can understand from here. So those are basic thing, you know, we can do during the emergency. So if you understand the disaster management, so there is a three layer actually. Pre-disaster, some precaution you can take. That is the alarm system or alert system. Then during disaster, pre-disaster, you should have some plan also, evacuation plan also. So you should have some medical emergency like the first aid and all, and the crisis communication system. Suppose there is no network, so walkie-talkie or something else. So any way you need to communicate. So even in your satellite phone you can use also. So mobile, if mobile network is not there, the satellite phone might work over there. So but what I intend to say that the management, the risk management, if it is related to the disaster, so there is a three plan. So pre-disaster, during disaster, and post-disaster. You need to work on the everywhere during the pre-disaster. So every setup you should have. During the disaster, there is only thing that the evacuation and the support, emergency support to the visitor, and the post disaster is the recovery phase when you go into the recovery stage. And then we will go into the risk transfer strategy. So Margaret, what do you understand by the risk transfer strategies? Are you there, Margaret?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so can you tell me
Um,
that what do you basic understand about the risk transfer strategy? You just think yourself
mm,
as a tour planner or tour operator or manager, and you should have some plan to transfer the risks. I mean, you should have some strategy. You know the difference between risks and not risks. The plan and strategies. Plan is a theory oriented, okay, and strategy in the action oriented. Well, so you just tell me. Yeah, your time now.
I think for me, for example, as a manager in a hotel, it can be some rules and, for example, I don't know, insurances or some procedures which sur- not survive, which save us before the risk, some risks. I
Yes.
think it's something like that.
Yes. Risk transfer. You just here you need to focus only one word, okay? So when we talks about this, so so yeah, so well, someone is trying to join or just a minute. So in the risk transfer, mean the when you transfer risk to the other party, when you are not willing to take the risks, you know only one sentence you need to understand that transfer. Transfer means there is a risk and your position
Oh,
is here. Your position is here. You are here. Okay. Then you transfer. You have enormous pressure from upside due to the some incident. I think something happened. Someone is trying to join. No. Well. Well. So how you transfer, you cannot hold the pressure. So because you have some limit, you have some limit. So if someone give more pressure and more pressure, you cannot hold the pressure. You need to transfer the pressure. You need to just it will come and it will transfer. First of all, how you will transfer, that the insurance coverage. If your hotel or your industry, there is a coverage of insurance, so that you cannot have some financial loss, you can protect your money. Then the third party contact, outsource the risky operation. Risky operation mean the firefighting. So Margaret and Rustomova, you are in a hotel here, you are working as a hotel. So you know that during the firefighting, so you hire the different people, maybe the people from the police service or the fire lines or who are the expert for that. So you hire them. Your team, what they your core team, they are not doing the they can do the basic thing like they can try to protect, but basic operation you are waiting for the fire services or something else. That is called the third party contact. And the third one is the private public participation. That is the collaboration between the government agency and the private agency. Suppose in the during the disaster, so I am discuss about the road condition. During the road condition, sometimes road condition is the bad, sometimes road condition is the worst. So many things can happen, but thing is that the only government can take the decision and they can build the road, because this is not possible for the individual hotelier or tour operator or tour planner or manager to develop the road, airports and other big infrastructure like bridge and all. So that time it's need the public support in the government, and the private parties is there. So those people who doing the tourism business over there, they might give some contribution over there, give more taxes and all. And the liability waivers, liability is something. So there is a one side, there is a asset, and another side is liability. And if you have the more liability, so that you cannot work more efficiently, so limit the legal exposure of the inherent risks. So you should mean it is also important factor to risk transfer. Well, then we will go into next side, the staff training program, the standard protocol. So emergency protocol, safety protocols, and also yeah, okay. So in the safety protocol, the training program. So what are the safety protocol? So it's called the SOP. SOP, you heard the term SOP? It is the very common term that actually SOP mean the standard operation protocol for the safety. Okay. So emergency dealing, so that is also very required, that response and the first aid, CPR certification. I just give you some example. Well, just give some demonstration that will very easy to understand. So like the DG. For the cruise ship, if you want to work in the cruise ship, so there is need many certificates. So there is some certificate. Okay. So how can I get the CDC? certificate. What is the CDC certificate? That the must have the citizen of India. The medical fitness, you need to, there is a one annexure is there, there is a lots of certificate is there, so you need to clear all those CTC certificate, STCW certificate, and the cost of the AIATA certificate. So there is the many thing you need to do, then only you can recruit one person in the ship. So that is the safety protocol, CPR certification, and for the different industry that is different, and the customer services and the conflict regulation and the guest handling, the cultural awareness and sensitivity. So all those things, it is important also that the customer services, conflict regulation, and the guest handling. So you need the expert staff. So as a tenor or training organization, so they, how they are performing all those things. So main thing is that there is a certain rules regulation, how what is the conflict between the the hoteliers. Suppose you are a manager, so might be some problem happen between the housekeeping and your guest. You need to resolve the problem, because you cannot leave your employee and you cannot also hurt your guest. So that is very crucial thing. You need to be very much trained, you need to understand the psychology of people, and the cultural awareness and sensitivity. So I must say like this, because I give you many example from the religious to other perspective also. So there is many things. So otherwise people unknowingly hurt each other. Okay, and the legal compliance. Compliance, what is the compliance? Compliance is something the every organization need to provide. That is the liability issue, that the privacy policy, data security, all those come under the legal compliance. Well, and then the destination risk assessment. In the destination risk assessment, there is we will come out with the different page. In the first page, it is called the research page. In the research page, we need to collect the data, gather the data on the potential disaster. Suppose you were working on Bangladesh tourism or in the Sundarban. So there is a Zubair and Mustapur is there, so they might work in the Sundarban. In the research phase, they need to collect the data of the cyclone in the Sundarban area or any other disaster in the North Bengal, in the northern part of you know Bangladesh, like the Dinajpur area or Rangpur area. So those areas, so collect the data. And then second is the on-site inspection. So evaluate the facilities, local condition, you need to visit that particular spot. And then the risk assessment, identifying the threat, assess their probability, unlike this. And the mitigation planning, develop strategies to manage risks. So that is come under the your theoretical part. So mostly you need to discuss in during your board meeting, develop the strategy to mitigate the risks. And the research page show that collect the data. So there is required the method of data collection and the on-site inspection. So there is a two type of observation is required, that the participatory observation and non-participatory observation. And the risk assessment identified the threat and the assess their probability. So those are the basic the destination risk assessment factors. So you need to keep in your mind all those things. And then I will come to the crisis communication plan. In the crisis communication plan, so there is a four step. Just a minute, just hold on, just a minute, just a minute. In your team there should be a spokesperson, so designated media trained representative. And the key message, so you should develop the clear and consistent messaging during the crisis. And the contact database, so maintain the database, the stakeholder contact and all. The communication channel, so utilize the social media like the Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, I mean everything, all the social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, anything you can use over there. And the email also, but social media or website utilization is almost the best it is a proven method, but email is not yet the proven method. Okay, but it's a mode of communication. You can communicate through email also, even well. So then come to the next slide, that the cyber security measure, data encryption. So even that is very important, protect the sensitive customer information. Suppose sometime people are disagree to share their data, you should respect the data privacy and all. Network security, implementing the firewall, the access control, otherwise the hacker might take the data and information and they can do anything. And the incident response plan that produce the handling. Okay, we'll start again. So then the cyber security, we discuss about the data encryption, network security, incident response plan, and the employee awareness. Then the adventure tourism safety. So when we discuss about the outdoor pursuits, so hiking, climbing, and skiing. So those are the thing is a high risk, so you need to maintain that thing. And the water activities, like the rafting and the kayaking, scuba diving, those are the water activities that is also very risky. So you need to understand your health condition, in the tourist health condition, need to understand the any disease related issue or not. And the wildlife safari, suppose in the wildlife, that is also sometimes risky. Some animal might attract, so sometimes it is really life threatening. And the extreme sports, the skydiving, motocross, those are the highly risk adventure tourism. So you need to take the consent, check the medical reports, then only you can arrange if you are a tour operator. Well, then the tourist health and the wellness, the medical services, access to the doctor or pharmacist, emergency medical evacuation plan. So suppose many student they are from different part of the world, mean not from the Poland actually, so like from the Bangladesh, Azerbaijan, Turkey, and uh, Jordan, Belarus. So some, if some medical emergency happen, so they might immediately evacuate, so hand over to the your own country. So in case of the tourist, also the same protocol. So if during the COVID, many tourists, from the airport, they can return back. They can accept the tourists due to the health condition. If there is a high fever and also they cannot accept the tourist. Well, and the food and water safety, the hygiene standard in the restaurant, the clean drinking water resource, so that is also very important. So in the clean drinking water, you need to understand the water, drinking water quality. What is the drinking water quality, like the pH, TDS, turbidity, you know and the other biological component like the E. coli, coliform, those are the thing. So those, there is a 13 parameter as per that WHO, World Health Organization, they recommend total 35. 13 is the basic parameter, like the pure, the TDS, turbidity, and pH. Those are the physical parameter. There is some chemical parameter like the iron, you know, even sodium, potassium, not potassium actually, sodium sulfate, chloride, and add on already I mentioned. So those are the basic things. So you need to check it out. So whether your water, whatever you produce, that is well enough or not. And the travel advisories, so disease outbreak warning, vaccination. Suppose you want to visit the Brazil, you should take the yellow vaccine, yellow fever vaccine. So that is very much important to visit over there. So those are the basic advisories, so you need to follow all those things. And then come to the sustainable tourism practices. From the very beginning, even in the last semester, we are discussing about the environmental conservation, minimizing the negative ecological impact, cultural preservation. We discussed earlier that community engagement involve the residents in the tourist development, so that they can also develop. So I think in the earlier classes we discussed about the impact of the tourism. So there is a three kind of impact, like the direct impact, indirect impact, and induced impact. If you engage the tourism, so that is the induced impact. And the responsible operation, so reduce waste management, emission, overcrowding. So those are the responsible operation. So and then come to the transportation safety. Well, so air transport, aircraft maintenance, security scanning, and also there is a high security zone and all. And the public transport like the bus, train, safety standards, so they should maintain the rental card, the car inspection, driver background check. But for sometime it is very difficult to individual level. If you have the very good and the big operation chain, so you can rental the card for a month basis, for a quarterly, or for 1 year. So then you can get the all the database. But if you hire for the 1 day, it is very difficult to get the database of the diver and all. Suppose you book one card from for one place to another place by Uber or Ola, so online service they provide in India. So even that case you cannot get the all the information. Might operator might have, but as an independent tour operator, you might not have, because you are taking the service from the third party. Okay, so those things you keep in your mind. Then the tour operation, so you need to understand the license guides, and the safe tour vehicles and all. So those are the thing. And then disaster recovery, then the recovery phase, though there is different method like the impact assessment, extent of damage, restoration planning. So if you're any heritage sites or anything destroyed due to the disaster, or or some terrorist activity, or some due to any reason, you need to, like I give you one reference from Afghanistan. There is a statue of the Buddha. So that was destroyed during 2006. Okay, but now the Afghan government try to recover that thing, because that is a in the Bromium you can search in Google also, you can find that the Bamiyan Bam yeah, yeah. So you can see. So sorry, yeah. So this is destroyed due to the some group of people, they destroy that thing during the, this is the 6th century monuments. So there is a huge demand of the tourism. Many people used to visit over there, but now the some reconstruction can happen to attract more tourists, for this particular place. But this is such thing happened, the Bamiyan, the Buddhas of the Bamiyan, actually the 6th century. There is a long history of that particular area destroyed, and 3D Buddha actually. So this is the new construction and earlier was destroyed. And even this is the reported by copywriter from the Berlin from Germany. So write the article on this so you can understand the particular thing how penetrated it is. So there is a two documentary from the two Chinese people also write the articles on that, and how it is destroyed. If you look that the why did Taliban did did it, so you can also understand the what's the reason, so why they destroyed it. And so those are the thing you need to keep in your mind. Even it is the UNESCO site, even World Heritage Conservation Act. So you can see that is the Brahmian Buddha statue. So that is totally destroyed in 2001, actually not 2006. I wrongly mentioned that 2006. So you can find the entire history of that particular is that in the 2001 that the concluded by the Afghan official and the international expert meeting of the ninth Brahmian export working group hosts the UNESCO, the World Heritage Site, the potentially ready to move of the list of the World Heritage Site danger by the 2013. So there is some risk factor also. What are the risk factors? So suppose you look into those images so you can understand. So the beauty of this particular thing and how the different group destroyed it. Okay, so this is the factor, and when you recovery plan, so develop the strategy to rebuilding that thing. And that I just talked about the anthropogenic factor. Even in the natural cases, so I give you the reference of the Kedarnath flood of India, so that is natural, and this is the artificial one, or the made by the human in the anthropogenic factor. And the resource allocation plan, the secure the funding and the supply. So that is also very important how you secure your funding. Suppose if it is the World Heritage Site or national interest, so that government can sponsor that thing. So tourism, disaster marketing, and the marketing campaigning, the promote the destination as a safe one and the recovered one. So need to promote that thing, otherwise that psychology of the tourist change gradually. So you need to keep on promoting, keep on promoting, keep on promoting, so suddenly change the psychology of the you know tourist. Got it? So, and the cloud management strategy. If you look into the cloud management strategy, so there is a different tool. What are the tools? Are the capacity planning. I give the reference of the Amsterdam. So there might the capacity of the 25,000 tourists, but even you can give the reference of the tomato festival of Spain. During the festival there is a huge crowd. Even during the Christmas, any big city of Europe or USA, so there is some more than the regular visitor at August. So that is how you manage that thing. The traffic control, so pedestrian law should be very strict. The security personnel, the trained staff to monitor the cloud, and the emergency evacuation route, that the designated safe exit pathway. So that is also very important to think. And the crisis simulation exercise, so scenario planning. Even I remember the day I was there in University of Jeddah, discuss about Julia madam regarding the scenario planning and all. So earlier I don't had any idea about the scenario planning. So madam told me that one thing, that scenario mean you need to imagine that there will be the scenario and develop the realistic crisis situation. So you need to imagine there will be the probable problem. So scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, and you need to prepare for that. And the team formulation. So suppose you all are a team. So some team are the for the emergency response. Some team might be the communication team. Some evacuation team. So like wise the simulation exercise conduct mock crisis scenario, and the after action review, you need to assess the performance and refine the plan, how we are work based on our individual capacity. Well, then the risk transfer mechanism. Earlier we discussed about the risk transfer strategies. Okay, so now we will discuss about the risk transfer mechanism, that insurance policy, the contact agreement, like the MOU, in memorandum of understanding, or the article of association. It's called the AOA, article of association. The government support access the relief fund and the resources, the financial instrument like the hagging, the risk sharing mechanism. So those are the other thing. So and the advice, advantage tourism certification program. If you look into the certification, so your guard should be trained, your operator should be accreditation, so meet the operational safety and the requirement, undergo through the audit or inspection, visit your office, and the staff equipment for the safety and maintenance, and all those things is very much very much required for any kind of safety management and planning. Well, then we will come to the business continuity planning. So critical function to identify the essential operation and the resources, then backup system. So IT infrastructure and the data, then alternative facilities, secure the alternative site or for the operation, because one site, suppose I give you the reference of the Brahmian Buddhas of the Afghanistan, is totally destroyed. So what are the alternative thing? Okay, then the supply chain mapping. So mapping is very important. So nowadays, people are working on that. Mapping the dependencies or the vulnerabilities. What are the, probable, tourists, where I will place them, what will be the interest ratio, and also always you should go into the, research and development mindset. Always come out with some data driven solution or techno driven decision making. Okay, or it is called the informed decision making and the customer safety standard. So when we talks about the um, is standard operation protocol, SOPs, so ensure the safety well-being of the tourist through the comprehensive safety protocol and the standard, and the protocol protect the visitor from the potential hazard, mitigating the risks, assess all aspect of the tourism experience, that is natural, in the semi natural or anthropogenic, whatever it is, that should be a protocol. And the tourist safety regulation. Okay, we may, discuss many thing about tourism safety regulation, because it is vary region to region, country to country. Okay, so comprehensive regulation ensure the safety and well-being of the tourists across the all tourist activity. Guidelines of the recovery, what you can do, to do or not to do list, emergency protocol, risk mitigation measures, and the protect tourism from the potential hazard, and also everything we can do. But the country wise, if you look into the tourism safety protocol for India, safety protocol for Poland, so there should be the difference. So but you need to understand, so what are the difference between all those things, and how you will mitigate that thing, how you will review actually. So those things, and the travel advisory systems, travel advisory, many country there is a international tourist. So Ministry of External Affairs could in time to time give some impact on the advisory, travel advisory. So and that might proactive travel advisory system, monitor the global risks and the potential alert for the tourist. so which area is safe and which area is not safe and all. So even in this map, this is the dark color of the Middle East area, so produce that there is a significant risks due to political instability, nothing else. So, and thank you, a sincere, your mm, expression of the gratitude for your attention and time, actually. So 1.5 hours continuously we discuss about this. Now we will discuss on it about your idea. So we have the 30 minutes in our hand. So now we will discuss about the our topic, and then we will